Hi everyone! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. In this one, I wanted to speak to you guys about INFJs being broken. You can't imagine the number of times, I couldn't actually imagine even myself, the number of times INFJs will message me saying that they're broken. They will say it in a underhanded way or in a different manner sometimes, but sometimes they'll just use exactly the same word. I'm broken and there's nothing that I can do to fix myself and no one loves me and I'm burdened on everyone and all of that, right? But that word broken, it comes up so often that I wonder where it actually began. I wonder if we read it somewhere and we're like, yeah, right, I'm broken. That's exactly it. That's what it is. Or is it that we're told consistently from when we're a child that we're broken? Or how do we come upon this vocabulary of using the word I'm broken towards a human being? How can you even say that to yourself? I can imagine that if you're an INFJ right now and you're sitting here, that you would never ever use those words for someone else. You would never say that to someone else that, oh, you know what, you shouldn't bother with anything, or you shouldn't do anything with your life, or you're a burden on everyone because you're broken. I can't imagine that as an individual, as a human being, as an empath, as a sensitive person, as a human being on this planet who has this heart and who cares about people in general, I can't imagine that we would ever say that to someone else. And I'm sure you're nodding at this point in time because you would never do that to someone else. Absolutely not. No matter how angry you are, no matter how enraged you are, no matter what's going on with you, you would never put a person down like that. You would never completely denigrate their entire existence and tell them that they don't need to exist or they shouldn't exist because they're broken or because there's something wrong with them. But on a consistent basis, as an INFJ, you probably do this to yourself daily, if not hourly, telling yourself words like you are broken and you're a burden, you shouldn't be allowed to even breathe or eat, or you shouldn't be allowed to live, things like that. I just can't imagine how that is all right with anyone to say that to themselves. Now, of course, I did this for the longest time, so I'm not saying that this is not normal, which is a sad thing that actually it is normal for a lot of people. Not only INFJs, I can imagine. INFJs do it more often, I think, than other individuals, other types. But unfortunately, it does become normal for people to imagine that they're broken or there's something wrong with them or that they shouldn't be allowed to live or they're a burden on this planet, and if they weren't around, then nothing would change. Nothing would be different, that the world would not care if they were here or not. I did a video a few days ago, about how nothing matters and no one cares, and that's actually a good thing. And that's definitely one part of the equation. But just like yin and yang, there's always light and dark. You can't have light without the dark, and you can't have dark without the light. You need both of them in order for this world to function properly. Just like nothing matters and no one cares about you, and you can do whatever you want. That's what the point of my video was. The other scenario, or the opposite scenario, is applicable as well. Everything matters because of the ripple effect. Everything that you do, everything that you are matters, and everyone cares about you. And in that everyone, I include the universe, the divine consciousness, the creator, God, whatever word you want to use for that entity. He, she, it cares absolutely about you and wants you to be alive and wants you here. And that's why she or he or it put you here, tried very hard to put you here. There are a billion ways you could not have been here, a billion ways Earth could not have been born, a billion ways that we couldn't have had life on this planet, right? I mean, if Earth was 1 centimeter beyond or 1 millimeter here or there, or if this or that happened, if the sun didn't come up this way, or the moon didn't come up, there's 1,000 things that could have happened, and we would not be here right now, sitting here, listening to each other, talking to each other, talking about the pandemic, dealing with different awesome, cool things. And so we're here for a reason, and everything matters. Everything that you do matters. You matter. And even if you think no one else cares, there is a reason you're here. There's a very good reason you're here, because it took a lot of effort for the universe to put you here. And why did you get put here rather than someone else? Why not some other consciousness, some other soul instead of you? Why in this moment in time? Why are you here right now while you're listening to me? Why this particular period of time, this period right now where all this stuff is going on rather than some other period. There's so many reasons and so many indications, at least to me, that there's a reason why every single one of us is here. We might be here only for a brief period of time. Sometimes babies come and they're here for a few hours and then they die right after. But they did come, and the universe tried to make it happen. Sometimes different things happen, sometimes they were not meant to be here for that long. Maybe they were supposed to give a lesson to their parents or whatever it might be. But they did come, and the universe made sure that they came, even for a brief period, and then they left. But there was a purpose to that. There was a purpose to them coming just for a couple hours. There was a purpose for them to be here. And just like that, there's a purpose to you being here. Now, it doesn't mean that has to be a divine purpose where you completely change the universe and you change the world and a billion people don't go hungry because of you and you're here and everyone knows you. That's not the point of it. It doesn't matter how much effect or impact you have by your coming. The fact is that you need to be here because you're here. And that's the essence of it. And that's the essence of what I try to constantly talk to you guys about. Because I do get a lot of messages about suicide and brokenness and burden and I shouldn't be here and I hate myself or things like that. And I get a lot of messages from people like that. And my constant thing about this is the universe loves you. Even if no one else loves you, the universe does. Because it wants you here so badly that it converted and changed and completely shifted the time-space continuum to make sure that you're here in this moment in time, alive, conscious, and present. And if the universe can work so hard for it, whatever you want to call it, you can call it Jesus Christ, you can call it Prophet Muhammad, whatever your thing might be, Allah, whoever it is, that entity that you believe in, or you might be agnostic and believe in nothing, or atheist, and believe in nothing. But there's a reason you're here. There's always a reason. Everything happens for a reason. There are no coincidences. And so if you believe that you're broken, then you might be broken actually, maybe I have no idea. But why are you broken? There's a reason for that as well, right? I mean, the universe put you here perhaps in a broken fashion because maybe you're supposed to fix yourself, or perhaps you're supposed to fix other people, or perhaps you're supposed to show other people what it's like to be broken, or perhaps you're supposed to be an example of brokenness. I have no idea, right? I'm making up stuff here. But in general, there's definitely a reason for it. And so everything matters, and you matter as well. Everything that you do, everyone cares. Now, of course, the people around you might not care, or maybe they pretend like they don't care, or they show that they don't care. But there's always one or two entities in the world, your guardian angel, or your muse, or that entity that brought you here on the planet, or whatever, that God entities for you, they care. And I know I'm probably going into very spiritual abstract stuff here right now, but I really truly believe that there is definitely one or two or three entities in the world that do care about you. Even one or two people probably that really care about you. And you're here for a reason. And everything matters. Everything that you do matters. Nothing matters and everything matters. And that's the whole beauty about this world that we live in, is that it is this dance of yin and yang, of Shakti and Shiva, right? Like the polarization of this world is necessary for this world to exist. It would not exist if the polarization did not exist. You can't have one without the other. We need both of them in order to be alive. And so both scenarios are possible and true. We don't matter because we're here for a minuscule period of time, and nothing that we do matters because no one's going to remember it. We're going to be gone before you know it. And even Alexander the Great, who conquered half the world, barely anyone remembers him, barely anyone talks about him unless it's in a history lesson, and you're barely doing it at that point either. And so even him, no one remembers. So we're just here for a minuscule period of time, and we're just supposed to do what we're supposed to do, and we do it, and then we leave, and that's it, that's done. But also everything matters because everything that we do has a ripple effect, and it can affect 1,000 people. One action of ours affects hundreds of thousands of people. And even Alexander the Great, everything that he did, he left a legacy behind. And I don't know if he was married or had kids, but I'm sure there was a ripple effect that happened because of what he did. And it's showing up in the universe right now in this moment in time as well. It's going to show up until the end of time. And so everything matters and nothing matters. And it happens both at the same time. And this is something that I want you to remember, is that, yeah, perhaps you might sometimes feel like you are nobody and no one cares. And yeah, that's true. But also you are somebody, and there's someone out there who cares, even if it's just a God entity or someone like that. And I care. And all the INFJs that are listening to it care as well. And so I just want you to remember that these are things that are true in both cases. So you can totally look at your life in so many different ways and be like, yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with being a nobody. That's fine, because I know that I'm a somebody. I know that I am here for a reason, right? And so it's okay if no one cares, because I know that this one entity is at least in the world that definitely cares, because she put me here, or he put me here, or it put me here, right? I hope this makes sense. I know probably this is very abstract, and perhaps some of you are thinking, she's losing it, or maybe not. But either way, if you guys have questions about this, please message me below, because I do think this is really important, because we are perhaps maybe broken for a reason, or we're not really broken, we're just imagining it, or we're here for a reason. And either way, I just want you guys to remember that you matter. You don't matter and you do matter, okay? All right, I hope I've confused you enough. Again, if you have any questions, please comment below and I shall answer them in video format. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being on my channel. I really appreciate the support. And I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.